No inclement weather. All right, you want to start?
Yeah, are we on?
Yep, let's do it.
Good afternoon. Because it's afternoon. And so, afternoon, you say good afternoon.
Is that why you said good morning? Did you say good morning because I said good morning? Or did you say good morning because it is a good morning? Even though it is afternoon.
Good night. Ding, 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 ding.
Good afternoon.
We are PodBros.
A production of Sound Bros Productions.
Productions. News sucks.
I don't know about you, but I've got some pretty good news over here.
I've been trying to find some good ones, and they're all from like 2013 and 14.
Huh?
So, but I think I've got some good ones. Anyway, we're on Facebook, Podbean, Spotify, all the big ones.
iTunes,
YouTube, Google Play.
Spotify.
Yeah, what do you got over there? You said you got stuff? Because I've got a weird one. This is from December 16th, 2019. Monkey pig plan to grow organs keeps failing. The latest experiment combining animal cells.
You're gonna have to explain that one.
The latest experiment combining animal cells has been a flop. China scientists took monkey cells and combined them with pig embryos to make what they call chimeras. Dr. David Pretense of the Charlotte Lozer Institute says that they implant them in female pigs.
Okay.
And the thought is that the monkey cells will go ahead and grow, let's say, a monkey liver or a monkey heart in the pig as the pig grows and develops. So that after the pig is born, you could just simply transplant that monkey heart or monkey heart, or sometime in the future, maybe do it with human cells.
And so, what are they basing this off of?
I don't know. It turned out that it turned out to be monkey business.
Oh, that was clever, except for you butchered it the first time.
I did, because their science wasn't very good even after making 4,000 of these hybrid embryos. They only got 10 little piglets born out of 4,000 initial tries, and all of those died within a week. They also learned afterwards that they did not get monkey organs in the pigs. In the end, scientists want to grow human organs, for example, in pigs, to produce human transplant for humans, which makes sense.
Except for they're using
pigs. Why are they using pigs? Why aren't we just growing humans?
The Sixth Day Law?
Just kidding. The Sixth Day Law.
No, I'm serious.
Is there really one?
Are you serious right now?
Yeah, that was a movie, not a real law.
There was a law that was passed right after the sheep was cloned about cloning humans.
All right, now I got to look it up. I mean, I would assume that was just a common sense thing, but, the world we live in.
Whatever. Anyway, I mean, I could be wrong. I thought I had read about that. It's officially 2020 in Somalia. No, in Somalia. Sorry. Samoa.
Samoa? Yeah,
my bad.
And the Philippines.
I read that
everybody
wrong.
On the other side of the world.
Yes.
Currently. So, Happy New Year's to them.
Yep.
And Happy New Year's Eve to everybody else.
But Samoa was first, though.
Oh, was it?
They are officially the first country in the next decade.
In the next decade. They're just ahead of everybody. That's funny.
So, what would you say would be like on the lower scale of least romantic places to have a wedding?
McDonald's?
You were close, but think like darker skin.
Popeye's Chicken?
Too far.
KFC.
There you go. third time's a charm.
Jeez.
So this...
There are no federal laws regulating human cloning in the United States.
I didn't say in the United States.
With the exception of laws and practices restricting the federal government from funding human cloning research.
There's that.
However, many states have passed laws on human cloning. Okay, continue.
The law I was talking about is not a U.S. law.
Is it a state law?
No, it's not a U.S. law.
Oh, it's a somewhere in the world law?
I think there's a couple countries in the elsewhere in the world that have laws like that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Anyway, the South African, is it in South Africa? Oh, it was in South Africa. So a South African couple in South Africa got married in KFC in South Africa.
Awesome. Hey, when you love chicken,
apparently
gotta
so.
love that KFC. Get that Kentucky Fried.
So, how do you feel about robocalls?
Do you want me to be honest or should I sugarcoat?
No, be honest. We're always honest on this show.
If I ever get my hands on the person who robocalls me, I might go to jail for murder.
Well, good news because it looks like Trump just signed a robocall bill
Really?
into law.
How do they stop them?
I'm not sure. It doesn't give a lot of details on what exactly this is, but it's supposed to protect you from the calls.
Well, I haven't been getting very many lately.
They go in cycles.
They do. And I get some where, like, I get my first phone call of the day, and then,
you know what? I'll say
from a regular person, and then my phone will ring all day long with robocalls.
I'll say this. The thing that's annoying to me, I don't actually mind a robocall. Mm-hmm. It's like getting a spam email.
The difference between robocalls and spam emails is that a spam email I don't have to look at, and I can just delete my spam folder.
Well, just for me, this is what I'm saying is from my perspective, you don't really have to think about it. It's not really a big deal. It's just kind of like, oh, this obnoxious person is calling me and wanting to sell me a hotel voucher.
Yeah, except for the problem that I have with that is that for you in particular and for me, your phone doesn't always answer the phone. And so robocalls coming in and taking up the bandwidth and tripping your phone out annoys me on my end when I need to call you and get a hold of you.
Here's what I'm saying, though. Here's what I'm saying, though, is that I don't mind those as much as I dislike this is the federal government calls that are not the federal government.
Oh, yeah.
Those are that's what I was getting at, is that those calls,
the difference between somebody trying to sell something to you and the actual scam, we are the IRS.
Yeah,
calls.
we're the IRS or we're, whatever it is, and it's like, you know what? Seriously?
Yeah, no you're not, and quit calling me.
Yeah. 10 freaking different calls. Oh, you mean the U.S. government uses 1-800 numbers? Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I don't think so. No, if the government wants to get a hold of you, they're going to be on your doorstep.
Yeah, that's
how you doing?
Yeah, that's the other thing. How's it going?
I'm from the government.
Is there a Nick Solano here?
Nope.
Yeah, it's like
no, there's not. I don't know that person.
You are a very big, scary person. How can I help you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just joking. The only interaction I've ever had with anyone from the IRS was when mom and dad got audited.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and this guy who was a former football player showed up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 6'5", 300 plus pounds, 400 plus pounds. He was a big dude.
Dang.
So
I'm gonna ask you some tax questions. Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
No problem, sir.
Sit down. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest.
I just want to cooperate. I don't know what's wrong.
Did you hear about the new restaurant on the moon?
No, I did not.
Yeah, great food, no atmosphere.
technically false, but okay.
Is there atmosphere on the moon?
There
It's just
is-
very limited.
There is technically there is an atmosphere on the moon. It doesn't actually do anything, like in the sense of like the atmosphere.
So you know what? That brings up a question, because that was just a random joke. But if there was an opportunity for a colony or whatever on the moon,
Okay.
would you go?
Yeah, I think.
You know, the constant fear of rapid decompression,
Well,
instant death.
The thing is that
Somebody made a mistake and we're all dead.
there,
Aliens.
depending on what you read, there is very strong evidence that at one point the moon did have a legitimate atmosphere.
Really?
Yeah.
That would be cool.
And there's also evidence that Mars had a legitimate atmosphere at one point.
That is true.
Matter of fact, there are some Sumerian writings that show Mars as not a red planet, but
As
as
the
a
blue planet. Yep.
So, I mean, there's always, there's always that.
Yeah.
For me, there's that thought where it's like, you know what?
Barsoom.
Barsoom, yeah. Thank you.
John Carter of Mars. I don't know. I just...
Or Paralandra.
Or Paralandra. Yeah, no, I think if I ever was given the opportunity, I would do it. I would love to.
Well, this is one of those things where it's like the Wild West. It's the frontier.
yeah.
It's funny, you think Star Trek, it's the final frontier. It's like, no, it is. It's the next frontier. It's not the final frontier. It's the next frontier.
Yeah.
And I feel like
Well, I mean, we've still got Alaska.
Alaska has people in it.
It does, but there are parts of Alaska that are
Yeah, but it's not.
untamed, strong air
but
quotes.
it's not untamed in the sense that no one.
And no one goes there.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's untamed for a reason. And technically
Yeah.
speaking, it is tamed.
I'm interested to see what we're going to do with the Space Force, to be honest.
What I'm saying is that going to the moon is something new.
Well, we did it in 1960.
It's a new,
something.
but I'm saying it's a new
Was it
frontier.
1966? Is that what that was?
It's somewhere that no one has ever gone
When did we go to the moon? Do you remember?
and lived there. I don't remember.
Basic history. I should know this.
Yeah, I should do it too, but my brain is not remembering it right now.
Did you hear about the coffee that filed a police report?
What happened?
It had gotten mugged.
Nice.
So
So
yeah, I would live on the moon. I would live. I don't know. I wouldn't mind living in space.
honestly, I think as long as there was some kind of artificial gravity, so I wouldn't have to deal with the gravitational differential of coming
Correct.
back to Earth,
Yeah.
I think I'd be fine with living anywhere.
Yeah.
Or maybe somewhere that has heavier gravity.
Yes. Yes. Heavier gravity for denser bones.
Hmm.
So we could be superhuman when we come back.
Well, not superhuman, but you would be stronger.
Superhuman.
Okay, Luke.
Superhuman.
Okay.
Superhuman.
Okay,
Superhuman.
big guy.
Superhuman. Superhuman.
So, remember that story I told yesterday about that McDonald's?
Yeah. It was
where-
fake.
Yeah, I had just pulled it up. Apparently, no, it's better than it was fake. The cop lied about it, and I think he resigned.
He did. I read that article. You go ahead and talk for a little bit.
Oh, serves you right.
Serves me right
you
for what?
For acting like a child over there about living on the moon or whatever it is that you were saying.
I see stars.
Anyway, so let's talk about the weather.
We're already on the
let's
weather?
get the weather out of the way real quick. Well, I kind of powered through all my stories pretty quick.
You know,
so.
bad puns are how I roll.
Mm.
Are you doing anything for New Year's Eve this evening?
Sparky?
Sparky?
No, I don't think so.
No?
I might go drive somewhere and find somewhere where they're having fireworks or something. And
Oh, there you go.
I like watching fireworks.
I know Prescott's doing some fireworks.
I
I believe Prescott Valley is doing 2 sets of fireworks, if I'm not mistaken.
2 sets of fireworks.
That's what I read somewhere.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan of fireworks. Some people are like, "You've seen one, you've seen them all," but I'm like,
I like watching fireworks over and over and over and over again, which is why I'm friends with Casey. It's not the only reason, but
wow.
it was
Apparently, Casey, that's the only
it was a
reason Luke's
good
friends with you.
segue. Casey, he has a fireworks stand every summer up in Montana.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, he's really good at it. So I like Casey's Fireworks.
We should have
And
bought
no,
that.
that is not the only
We should have bought that
friends with
taco.
Casey.
We should have bought that taco last
Go
night.
buy the taco. It's still there.
I'm sure it is.
So here's something interesting. You've been hearing about all this fake meat is bad for the environment.
Fake meat is bad for the environment. No, I have not.
Okay, well, I've been hearing that actually, a couple of them. But here's an article that says fake meat isn't making a difference. According to the leader in the fight against junk science, there is zero science behind a new warning that the world must reach peak meat by 2030 to meet environmental targets.
Wait, peak meat?
Peak meat. I don't even know what that means.
What is this? What is this new random pandemic that they're talking about?
Who knows?
What is it? Do these guys just sit around and they're like,
They
you know
really
what?
do. They've got to sit around and come
You
up
know,
with stuff.
we got to come up with something new. Everyone's seeing through the environmental thing.
Let's have another
Meat.
crisis.
Meat. Let's make meat a crisis.
Well, the vegan thing's on a rise, right? And the vegetarian right,
Ish.
Anyway, the meat and dairy industries have long been thought responsible for large amount of the emissions that individuals, think tanks, and special interest groups point to as driving what they consider man-made climate change. In a letter to the Lancet Planetary Health Journal, scientists claim nations need to set a time frame for livestock production to stop growing by 2030. So they're trying to actually eliminate food. That's brilliant. Only the poorest countries would need to set the goals.
Whoa. Hold on a second here.
I read that correctly.
Go back. Read it again.
In a letter to the Lancet Planetary Health Journal, scientists claim nations need to set a time frame for livestock production to stop growing by 2030. Only the poorest countries would need to set goals. Author and JunkScience.com founder Steve Milloy. Do you need to answer that?
It already ended. It was Joe. I'll call him back in a minute.
Oh, okay. And founder Steve Malloy said the notion that somehow eating less meat is going to change the weather is totally bogus. There's absolutely zero science behind that, he adds. And if you think that eating fake meat is carbon-free, well, you're wrong, because there's obviously carbon emissions involved in that. How much is not clear, but more importantly, it's not really making any difference. If the U.S. were to set targets for livestock production to stop growing, expect to hear warnings about what that would mean for the economy, with hundreds of thousands of farmers, ranchers, and other agricultural managers with a median pay of $67,950 per year. I'm in the wrong job. That is not counting jobs in industries built around those workers. Meanwhile, there are concerns about the cost of alternative meat products at grocery stores, not to mention how healthy manufactured plant-based food items are compared to real meat options available in various food service establishments, not just your local grocer. Some of the ingredients are better than others, dietitian Samantha Cassidy told NBC News in October. It might look like meat and act like meat, but we just don't really know what's going to happen there.
So, I'm curious about this whole thing because it's like we need to stop meat production, and then they're like only the poorest countries need to stop meat production. So, do I have to ask this question? Are you really concerned about the environment, or are you just trying to get rid of the poor?
Ta-da! But that just comes into the whole climate change and environmental activists are all about money and controlling the population.
And most of the environmental bullcrap that they spread around, who does it affect? It doesn't affect the U.S. Let's be honest for a minute and talk about this for a little bit. It doesn't affect the U.S. The U.S. doesn't use half of the things that environmentalists say are problems because we've gotten rid of all of them because we've been sick and tired of them whining about it.
Yep.
Who uses all this stuff? Developing countries, poor developing countries. They're the ones who use coal more than anyone else. They're the ones who use all of these high carbon emission fuel sources to power their countries. Are you really concerned about the environment? Or are you just out to get these people and keep them down?
Yeah, exactly.
So, there's that. want to talk about the weather? Since we
Yes,
talked about
let's
the
talk
environment?
about the weather.
So, right now it is clear outside.
Is it really? Because I didn't go outside yet.
It's not.
Is it not clear? It's a little
not.
overcast?
It's not clear. It's a little overcast. It is currently 39 degrees, 49% humidity. The dew point is 21 degrees. It's going to be partly sunny today, and then it's going to clear up, and it's going to be mostly clear way into next week. So looks like we're going to get some wind on. We're going to start having some wind pickup
Okay.
as the pressure system, the weather system that's over us, as it moves and the new pressure system moves in, we'll get some transition wind. Usually that happens. So we had like a low pressure snow system over the area, and as the system changes, we're going to be getting a higher pressure, like a warmer, higher pressure system moving in.
Interesting.
So we're going to have temperatures that are going to be up around the upper 50s. Looks like Sunday is going to be the highest one at 57. So it'll be still pretty chilly at night, but it'll be nice. It'll be warmer during the day, not nice and warm. I personally prefer around 60 degrees is kind of perfect, I think. 60, 65 degrees. In the 50s is still a little cold for me, but more or less pretty good. So that's the weather.
So, good grief, this is ridiculous.
What?
Oh, I'm just reading through the business page of this news source, and it is full. I've got some interesting stories here. So here's one: welfare reform,
Okay.
quote unquote, put people to work in the nation's poorest state. So, a new report finds a state known as one of the poorest in the nation has moved thousands of citizens off of welfare back to work. Citing an extensive study of welfare to work Mississippians' research of the Foundation of Government Accountability are reporting on a dramatic shift in the state after its Republican governor tightened up work requirements for able-bodied workers, which forced them out of the house and onto the job site.
Wow.
We looked at the results of what happened when Governor Phil Brandt instituted work requirements for able-bodied adults without dependence on food stamps. What we found is that after requirements were put into place in Mississippi, Mississippians left the program very quickly. In fact, just over a year after leaving welfare, their incomes more than doubled.
What?
What set the stage for change was a work requirement waiver, which Mississippi was permitting during the Great Recession, quote unquote, only to witness 2% of able-bodied welfare recipients holding a full-time job. Governor Brandt officially ended the waiver effective January 2016, and when workers began to cycle off the welfare rolls and into the job, their progress was tracked by state agencies over the next 18 months, with FGA research helping document the results. Among the findings, wages grew an average of 64% 3 months after finding employment and nearly doubled a year after finding employment. Able-bodied workers found jobs in 716 industries in the state, including jobs in nursing, the steel industry, and manufacturing. Approximately 3/4 of the workers moved out of low-paying jobs such as retail, using those entry-level jobs as a stepping stone.
What?
Mississippi expenditure on food stamps dropped from, you ready for this?
Oh, I'm ready.
10.7 million monthly.
I heard it.
To 3 million monthly.
It's pretty good.
Other states also loosened their work requirements during the recent Great Recession that hurt the job market. Horton explains, but those states are now tightening their requirements since the economy is booming and jobs are plentiful. Welfare reform is effective. It is good for the local economy, but I think more importantly than that, it's good for folks that truly need help because it's freeing up resources for them.
What?
Awesome. That was
cool.
Good. That was good.
Oh, that's... Yeah, that...
All right. I know I'm kind of on a little bit of a political kick here, but I'm enjoying this.
Okay.
On the last day of the year, we have to. You know what? We're just going to go there. Not dark, but here's the truth and facts.
But there.
We're going there.
Okay.
Okay. So there was
you go there. I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
I just need to make sure that nothing's wrong.
Oh. So the teachers, there was a strike in Chicago, apparently, a teacher strike, and so yeah. So the title or the top of the display. I apparently I can't talk when I don't have someone directly staring at me and looking, because Nick is out of the room right now, so it's just me. Just me and all of you wonderful listeners. So thank you for listening. I apologize if I stumble and sound like an idiot for the little bit here. The headline here, there it is, headline. Teachers win, students lose in Chicago strike settlement. This was on November 4th, this last year. A conservative group says that the just-ended Chicago teachers' strike wasn't about wages, but about a social justice agenda and how the public schools are run. According to CBS News report, the teachers ended up with a 16% base pay raise over 5 years and more control over class sizes. The 11-day strike came to an end when classes resumed on Friday. Martin Baker of the Project 21 Black Leadership Network says that the strike ultimately wasn't about wages or working conditions. The unions are flexing their muscles again to try and show who they are, he tells One News Now. This is a power grab, and they play the power grab well. The teachers asserted that the strike had a social justice agenda aimed at giving teachers more say over how schools are run, according to CBS. But Baker contends that while teachers won a pay hike, the losers were the students themselves. It's a sad day that our city's children were used as a bargaining chip once again, he shares. Their future, their happiness, their quality of life was affected by adults playing a high-stakes poker game with the academic futures of the children on the table. In 2016, Illinois Policy .org reported that CPS teachers' pay ranked number 1 for teachers with a bachelor's degree and 5 years' experience. The salary for such teachers at the time was $61,831. So basically, the teachers are asking for more money and control over the schools, and they were using it, and they were using that against, against the students. But as I read this, what it sounds like to me is that the teachers ended up with a 16% base pay raise over 5 years and more control over the class sizes. That to me sounds like a win, and I'm wondering why this news said a conservative group says that it was bad for the students, because that sounds actually very good for the students. Teachers making more money is good, and teachers having control over the class sizes and having more control over the school is good. Whereas you do need administration. The problem with most school districts that I know of is that it is top heavy, where the administration is making all the money. The money doesn't.
Excessively top heavy.
Yeah, excessively top heavy. The money doesn't make it. Welcome back, Nick. The money doesn't make it down to the teachers, and then the teachers are stuffed with students in a room and have classrooms of 30 to 40 kids in a classroom, which you can't effectively teach a student when you have 30 kids all at the same time. I would posit that you need maximum of 20, one teacher to 20 students. That, of course, being relative depending on the teacher and the subject, and the amount of
just to be clear, we're talking about the average teacher here.
Average, yes.
Because there are some above average teachers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
can handle.
So
one of my favorite teachers in high school. His classes were regularly 35 to 40 people. Like, every single seat in the classroom was filled. But the other side of that was that it was an elective class, and people wanted to be in his class.
See, and that's the other side of it, is that the classes that you want to be in, you know?
Yeah.
And so it sounds like this was a really good thing. I don't think that I'm not a fan of unions.
So
across
it
the
was a union protest. Is that what happened?
So here I'll give you.
You don't have to read the whole thing.
No. I'll give you a quick.
What happened?
So teachers ended up with a 16% base pay raise over 5 years.
No, I heard that part.
And more control over the class sizes.
But how did they get there? That's what I was asking.
11-day strike.
Oh, okay. So they went on strike.
Yeah. So Martin Baker of the Project 21 Black Leadership Network, which I think is the one that they're claiming is conservative. I'm going to have to look into that because he said the unions are flexing their muscles again to try and show this is a power grab, and they play the power grab well. But I don't see what the problem is here. I don't see that the students lost when the teachers have more control and more money. Because when you pay more, you attract, most of the time, you attract better people. Typically, we live in a world where, as I read in the previous article, in the other article about, people using retail jobs as stepping stone jobs to get yourself out into a much better job. And we're rapidly getting to a place in our country where specialty jobs, specialty skills are once again going to be worth paying the money, or able to pay the money, because we worked a specialty skill job that we were not making the money that you should have been making at a specialty skill job.
Well, that has more to do with minimum wage and less to do with us getting paid the right amount of money.
Correct.
Because truthfully, if minimum wage was, say, $8 an hour, and we were getting paid what we were getting paid, we would be getting paid way, way over minimum wage.
True. Very true. So it's the minimum wage thing. The other side of it, of course, is management and stuff like that, but that's beside the point.
But I would argue that in most cases with skilled labor, that when you're dealing with skilled labor, you can't pay them as much as you would like to pay them now because of minimum wage. And because people are not using minimum wage jobs as stepping stones, they're using them as career jobs. And it's not supposed to work that way. If you want to work a career job and make minimum wage, go for it. But don't demand that you get a pay raise.
Yeah.
Of me.
Yeah, choose where you're going to live.
That's not a republic.
Yeah.
That's democracy. That is direct democracy, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Just look at Greece. Look at ancient Greece. It doesn't work. Direct democracy never works. All right. It's the bottom of the hour. This is PodBros, a production of SoundBros Productions. Sorry, my mic is
limited. Esquire.
Oh, governor.
LLC. Did you hear about the baguette at the zoo?
But what are we on, though? Spotify, Facebook, iTunes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, they know. We told them earlier.
I know, but I wanted to say it again.
Why?
Because we talked about how many times, we're about to be on this, we're about to be on that. I mean, you spent all that work getting us on those things. We might as well talk about it every once in a while.
That's true.
Okay, anyway. What were you saying?
Oh, I was just going to tell you this. I just was wondering if you heard about the baguette at the zoo.
I did not.
Yeah, it's bred in captivity. Did you hear about the joke about the paper?
No.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Interesting.
Not helpful. Oh. Do you like haikus?
They're all right.
Haikus are easy, but sometimes they don't make sense. Refrigerator. I sat on a pin. It didn't give me a grin. Buy some marmalade.
Gosh. What do you call a can opener that's broken?
A can't opener. Are we on the same page?
I think so.
I'm much funnier when I'm drunk off my butt. Sadly, I'm sober. That's a unique haiku. Excuse me. You know, the cow gives less milk. The cow gives less milk now that it's been eaten by a fierce dragon.
What do you call a cow that jumps over a barbed wire fence? Utter destruction.
Good grief.
What do you call it when it gets stuck in the fence? Shredded beef.
Oh, jeez. That's brutal.
What do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef.
Ah, there it is. I have a headache. A really bad one.
What do you call it when a bull is super tired? Beef bouillon.
Wow. Good grief. Help, somebody give us a story. Do you have good stories over there
I have
other
great
than
stories.
jokes?
You started with puns.
Yeah, puns. Funny puns. Those are just bad.
Hey, that last one I made up just now, by the way.
Oh, today at the bank, a little old lady asked me to help her check her balance. So I pushed her over.
She bounced right back up and punched me in the face.
Right?
She has excellent balance.
She has excellent balance. I bought some shoes from a drug dealer. I don't know what they're laced with, but I've been tripping all day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm so good at sleeping, I can do it with my eyes closed. My boss told me to have a good day, so I went home.
Nice, nice.
Why is Peter Pan always flying?
Why?
He never lands.
That's good.
Why do blind people hate skydiving?
Why?
Because it scares the crap out of their dog.
So you heard about that blind guy, right? Who walked into the... He was in a grocery store, and he walks in, he picks up his dog and puts it over his head. Kind of turns around a few times and then puts it back down on the ground. One of the associates walks up and very concerned look on their face and says, "Are you okay, sir?" He said, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm just looking around."
What do you call a guy with a rubber toe?
What?
Rubber toe.
Oh.
What did the pirate say when he turned 80 years old? When he turned 80 years old?
What?
Aye, matey.
Ah, yeah. That's good. So,
My wife told me I had to stop acting like a flamingo. So I put my foot down.
so ridiculous. So there is a garbage collector, who is in Missouri City. And he is a big fan of Christmas.
Okay.
So he left a present for a 2-year-old who would wave and smile at him every day that he would drive past.
Okay.
It's just kind of a heartwarming story.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
What do you call a French man wearing sandals?
what?
Philippe Philop.
Gosh.
A blind man walks into a bar, a table, and a chair.
So, this bicyclist, I guess, rides in this area in Australia all the time, and apparently got chased down by a koala bear. So koala bears are pretty small,
Yeah.
but I guess the koala bear It I guess it waved down the bicyclist because it was dehydrated and it needed some water.
So it got the bicyclist to stop and got water from him.
Yep.
Koala bears are smart.
And there's this super cute picture of the koala bear drinking from the bicyclist's water bottle.
Aww.
So
Aren't koala bears like really dangerous too?
they can be super dangerous, yeah. But apparently, they also know when water is nearby. So, you got any more fun puns over there? Any good stories? Because I've got a whole bunch more stories, but I don't want to power through them all. We've only been talking for about 7 minutes after the bottom of the hour. So,
what do you call a cow with no legs?
what?
Where do you find a cow with no legs?
On the ground?
No, right where you left it.
Oh. What do you call a dog with no back legs? A cigarette, because every day you have to take him out for a drag.
Stupid.
What do you call a dog with no legs? Nothing. He won't come anyway.
And the Lord said unto John, come forth, and you will receive eternal life. John came forth and won a toaster. I don't get it.
I'm missing it here.
You will receive eternal life. Oh. I read it wrong.
Yeah, I'm guessing you read it wrong.
And John said, and the Lord said to John, come forth and you will receive eternal life. John came fifth and won a toaster.
Well, now it makes more sense.
Can we delete that and I can just read it correctly the first time?
No.
Dang it.
Your terrible version has to be on there first. So, there's this another really cool story I have. A little boy quits playing with his friends to sit with a cop dining alone.
That's awesome.
When Oliver saw an Omaha police officer eating in the mall food court alone, he asked if he could join him. And look, he's sitting with the policeman.
That's awesome.
Oliver's mother posted the photo of the 5-year-old sitting with Officer William to her Facebook page. That's awesome. These are great stories. I don't know what you were talking about earlier about not being able to find any good stories.
Did you hear about the two cows that are standing in a field? And the one the cow said, did you hear about the outbreak of mad cow disease? It makes cows go completely insane. And the other cow replied, well, it's a good thing I'm a helicopter. What did the left eye say to the right eye?
What?
You know, between us, something smells.
Mm. You got any more over there?
How do you get an astronaut's baby to sleep?
How?
You rock it.
So ridiculous.
Somebody stole my Microsoft Office and they're going to pay. You have my word.
So ridiculous. So,
just remember, you're never completely useless. You can always serve as a bad example.
Wow. That's true.
That was our encouraging moment of the day.
So, a group of firefighters were buying groceries when they got a call, which happens a lot. Because they're on 24 or 48 hour shifts. Yeah. So they're at the grocery store buying groceries, and they had a call they had to rush off to. And when they came back, they found all of their groceries had been paid for.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, they were at a Kroger, which for those of you who don't know what a Kroger is, it's a Fry's. Or whatever the other name is. I think there's another name for Fry's also. Is there a third name for fries?
No, I think that's it.
It's all the same company. Anyway, yeah, they expressed their gratitude on the news, on Channel 8 News, wherever they were at. So, anyway, it's kind of a cool story. People doing gestures of kindness to each other. This one is a cool story. A 10-year-old boy was, with a big heart, made sure another boy never had to play basketball without shoes again. He was driving in the car when he saw a boy playing basketball without shoes. He asked his dad to pull over. And he got out of the car and ran over to the kid and gave him his shoes.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's really cool, actually.
Why do fish live in salt water?
Why?
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
So ridiculous.
Do you know when the little snake will arrive?
No.
I don't either, but he won't be long. I took the shell off my racing snail, thinking it would make him go faster. If anything, it made him more sluggish.
Did you put it back on and you couldn't really tell either after you put it back on? Was it hard to tell? Because of the shell. Never mind.
What did the traffic light say to the car?
What?
Don't look! I'm about to change.
Wow.
What did the one hat say to the other hat?
What?
You stay here. I'll go on ahead.
So ridiculous.
Why is there a fence around the cemetery?
Because people are dying to get in there.
Yep.
A tornado ripped through a cemetery. Millions dead. Stupid. I was happier than a tornado in a mobile home park.
Jeez. Ooh, tongue twisters. Should I try that?
Because you can talk really well anyway.
You're helpful.
Thank you. So there's this guy in Texas who he gets people to donate him their old Christmas trees. And he takes their old Christmas trees and whittles them into walking canes for veterans.
I saw that. That's
Pretty
really
cool story. So, all right, go ahead. Hit me with one of these tongue twisters.
How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Peter Piper packed a pack of pickled peppers. How many pickled peppers did Peter Piper pick? Everybody knows that one.
6.
Denise sees the fleece. Denise sees the fleas. At least Denise could sneeze and feed and freeze the fleas.
Oh, yeah, it's good.
The 33 thieves thought that they thrilled the throne throughout Thursday.
Thrilling.
Can you can a can as a canner can a can?
These are not really tongue twisters per se. This is more like just lousy alliteration.
6 sick hicks, Nick 6 slick bricks with picks and sticks.
Mm.
You were saying?
All right, that was clever alliteration. All right, I'll give him that one.
Stupid superstition.
Yes.
You say it.
What?
Stupid superstition.
Stupid superstition?
Your brain wants to say stupid superstition. There was a fisherman named Fisher.
How do you know what my brain
who
wants?
fished for some fish in a fissure. Till a fish with a grin pulled the fisherman in. Now they're fishing the fissure for Fisher.
There was an old man from Nantucket who kept all his cash in a bucket. When his daughter named Nan drove off in the van, we'll ask for the bucket. Nantucket.
Luke Luck likes lakes. Luke's duck likes lakes. Luke Luck licks lakes. Luke's duck licks lakes. Duck takes licks in lakes. Luke Luck likes. Luke Luck takes licks in ducks in lakes. Duck likes.
That was a good one. So I got one last good story here. A Chick-fil-A employee goes viral with his customer service. Apparently,
Ooh, I have a good one.
As he was taking orders, someone posted a video of him on Facebook doing it.
What was he doing?
He was taking orders at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
But he was
he's animated or something?
It doesn't say exactly what he was doing.
Dancing or something?
He was probably dancing or something like that, or being super happy or something.
Okay. 1-1 was a racehorse. 1-2 was 1-2. 1-1 race. 1-2 1-1-2.
Okay.
Gobbling gargoyles gobbled gobbling goblins.
Okay.
Pirates private property. Anne and Andy's anniversary is in April. Mary Mac's mother making Mary Mac marry me. My mother making me marry Mac. Will I always be so merry when Mary's taking care of me? Will I always be so merry when I marry Mary Mac? Mr. Tongue Twister tried to train his tongue to twist and turn and twit and twat to learn the letter T.
Okay. And then...
Some of these are rubber valve reversals. Birdie, birdie in the sky, laid a turdy in my eye. If cows could fly, I'd have a cow pie in my eye. That's not a tongue twister.
A man died today when a pile of books fell on him. He only had his shelf to blame.
No. How many cans can a cannibal nibble if a cannibal can nibble cans? How many cans as a cannibal can nibble if a cannibal can nibble cans?
I was at a funeral the other day, and it's not a very good thing, but the wife stood up and asked if anyone had anything to say, and this guy from the back raised his hand. So he walked up to the front and stood in front of the podium and said, "Plethora." And went and sat down. The wife got back up and said, "Thank you. That means a lot."
Every time I hear that joke, it makes me laugh. You said it the other day.
I did.
Yeah.
In a different way.
On the radio.
On a different way. This awkward silence read by us both reading puns and not reading them out loud.
Seriously. I thought of thinking of thanking you. Scissor, sizzle, thistle, scissors. Blah. Ooh, yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thick, say it quick. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Spread it thicker, say it quicker. Yellow butter, purple jelly, red jam, black bread. Don't eat with your mouth full.
What would you say is the best asset of a criminal?
I don't know.
Would you say it's his liability?
Wow. Me, mo, my, mo, me, send me a toe. Me, mo, my, get me a mo. Mo, my, mo, me, send me a toe. Fee, me, mo, my, get me a mo. Mr. Kister, feet so sweet. Mr. Kister, where shall I eat? Wow, where do these come from?
So,
the big black bug bit the big black bear?
So some weight loss pills were stolen this morning. Police say suspects are still at large.
That one's funny.
Today a man knocked on my door and asked me for a small donation towards a local swimming pool. So I gave him a glass of water.
Wow. 5 frantic frogs fled from 50 fierce fishes.
Oh, this is kind of a morbid one. If at first you don't succeed, then skydiving is not for you.
Oh my gosh. I saw a saw that could outsaw any saw I ever saw. If you happen to see a saw that can outsaw the saw I saw, I'd like to see the saw you saw.
Did you hear about the lady that called off her marriage?
No.
She was getting married. She was going to marry a gardener, but he was too rough around the hedges.
Ooh, should we do riddles?
You know, a boiled egg in the morning is hard to beat. You know, there's a new type of broom out. It's sweeping the nation. Americans prefer houses with basements. In fact, they're best sellers.
What 2 things can you never eat for breakfast?
What?
Lunch and dinner.
Oh, that's good. So we've essentially spent the second half of this
telling stupid jokes.
Well, and heartwarming stories.
What goes up and never comes down?
What?
Your age.
Which is very poignant, being that this is the end of 2019 and the beginning of 2020.
Before Mount Everest was discovered, what was the highest mountain in the world?
What?
Mount Everest. It just wasn't discovered yet.
That's funny. So we're a minute away here.
How much dirt is in a hole that measures 2 feet by 3 feet by 4 feet?
None. It's a hole.
Very good.
If an electric train is traveling west, going 70 miles,
it's an electric train. There's no smoke.
That's not what I was going to ask, but okay.
Purple. Because aliens.
Because aliens. Well, it is the top of the hour.
I don't know that there was much learning that happened today.
Well, there was some good heartwarming stories. There was some good puns.
We might have to vacate the studio here right quickly.
On that, you have one of those soundboards on your iPad, right?
I do, yeah.
Do you have any fireworks?
Fireworks.
For the end of the year?
For the end of the year? Yeah, let me see what I got here.
To celebrate the end of the year? Because otherwise this will be a stinky way to end.
You're ridiculous.
But how ridiculous am I?
Very.
On a scale.
6.
And you got anything over there? You ready? Fireworks? Anything?
Yeah, I got a magic blast.
You have to turn on the sound on your iPad. That is not a firework. Neither is that.
Epic fail.
That's not a firework either. Come on, man. They're not fireworks.
You're ugly, and your mother ugly, and your sister ugly.
All right, fine. I'll just look up some on YouTube.
No, I got fanfare. Yay!
Okay, we get it. We get it. Your stupid soundboard is crappy, okay? It doesn't have fireworks on it.
Happy 2019 and happy 2020.
Merry New Year! Okay, that one was good. That one was good. We hope you learned something on the show today. If you're not learning, you're dying. Stay alive.
And Happy New Year.
What? No. Let's just end with the fireworks.
Can we not end with that? sounds like.
It sounds like feedback is what it sounds like. It
does.
sounds
It
like
really
feedback
does.
and distortion. All right. Happy New Year, everybody.